made off of gaining the contract to do the repair work?
3 million. 3 million.
3 million?
3 million is what they paid him.
Okay.
Yes.
We spoke about the green concrete and the tire mats. I was curious about the treated wood of the dam. What are the downstream effects of that? And is that common? Are there other dams in Oregon that use treated wood?
They're not supposed to be treated with, built with treated wood. If it's in water or can be affected by water. This one was, during past repairs and maintenance. I believe that their plan called for them to remove all the previously installed treated timbers. I don't know if they did or not, I really don't, but I think their plan called for it. Yeah.
Jeff, could you speak to the success that other streams have seen with dam removal as far as salmon repopulation?
Well, I can think of several examples where dam removals have had dramatic increases in improvements. The Elwha dams, there was 2 of them on the Elwha River in the Olympic Peninsula in Washington that were removed, and these were really high dams. One of them I think was 107 feet high, and the other was like more like 125 feet. Elwha and Glenn's Canyon. And the upstream watershed was pristine. It's part of the Olympic National Forest. And there was no fish passage at either one of those dams. And so there was about 6 or 7 miles below the lower dam that was available for all salmon and steelhead out of Puget Sound. And some of them held on. The numbers were small, but I believe there were some Chinook and some steelhead that wild that were still there. They removed those dams a few years ago, and those dams, unlike Winchester, had an enormous amount of stored sediment behind them. The Olympics is a very erosional geology. Rivers disappear underneath all the substrate that moves down through the river systems. And everybody was afraid that, it's just going to have these giant blowout, carve whole new channels and just destroy everything. It didn't happen. It metered out over time. And the response of the fish was almost immediate. And within a couple of generations, the numbers are back to what they deemed close to historical levels. Because the habitat above was pristine. It functioned completely as it did historically. So that's probably the best example of, if you have good habitat above and you allow a passage, that's probably the most important thing you can do is get fish there. They'll take care of the rest. And the other one is removal of several dams on the road, Savage Rapids and Gold Ray. And I don't know how the response has been. Those removals were fairly recent, but I believe that they've been very successful. The mortality of fish at those dams is gone. There was mortality there documented. I think that getting fish to habitat is one part of a big part of it. Once they're there, then you need to make sure that the habitat's water quality, etc. Yes.
Well, is the removal of Winchester Dam, how expensive would that be for the landowners to actually remove that dam? Would they spend less money removing it than they did on the big fine they just got?
Well,
and they should have given them an option to have that fine or remove the dam.
we're getting into the part here a little bit, but I can tell you that Water Watch of Oregon has made an offer several years ago to the owners that they would completely pay for the cost of removal. It would cost the dam owners nothing.
Wow. He's offered that. And so that lake is so important to them that they would prefer the fine over removing the dam.
Well, we don't know what they're going to do, and we don't know what the ultimate fine's going to be. Yeah,
Mr. Pete, since we're missing football today, could you speak about your meeting with O.J. Simpson?
my meeting was short and sweet. I was playing at Oregon State. I was a tight end and a fill-in linebacker. And our middle linebacker had a slight injury and came out for one series. So I played 3 plays. And one of them was against USC, and I made the right direction call when I jumped left, and he went right, and I tackled him. And they had to fight. That's my one and only. Oh, you're welcome.